Well, good morning. The time sort of snuck up on me here. I didn't even start writing the blurb or the title till uh, till 5:46. So it's a real rush job, and I don't even know if I'm ready yet. I didn't spend a whole lot of time even thinking about what I was going to be talking about this morning, and I've been up already for almost 2 hours. Anyway, the title that I came up with quickly is "To Believe is to Be the Lie." Has there been a spell cast over the human race? Some would say yes. As I was listening again to Jackie Evancho, this time singing "I Believe," I saw it again. Be lie. How many of the stories we've been told and have told ourselves are really true? Asking that question could, in my opinion, lead to more disillusionment, which is a good thing. Indeed, I wish the whole world would get disillusioned at the life we've been living as humans. We've been told by our religions and by the media and everything to believe me, trust me. And many of us have awakened to the fact that much of what we've been taught is simply not true. The very foundations of our culture are often based on misconceptions, illusions of separation. So to become disillusioned would be a very good thing. Get rid of the illusions, the illusions, let them go. The illusion of separation, which I believe is the only true illusion, because everything else is just an experience. But we experience the illusion of separation, and we create all of these lies about our situation, that there's lack, when truthfully there is abundance. We're told that we're not good enough, when in actuality, if we would just trust our own instincts and not learn how to do the lie, if we would just be real and authentic as children are, and not learn how to put up masks and put on a facade and to cover up and to be inauthentic, we would have a whole lot better world than what we do now. We've been told that our natural tendency is to sin. Behold, the heart is desperately wicked above all things. That's the Bible. I mean, the Bible is one of the biggest believed stories that we've ever been told. Now, does that mean that the Bible doesn't contain wisdom? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But there are lots of lies in the Bible. There are lots of lies in the Quran. There are lots of lies in the Bhagavad Gita. There are lots of lies in the Torah. There are lots of lies everywhere in our culture. Lies upon lies upon lies. And to believe is to be the lie. If you look at the spelling, to belie, to give a false idea of something, to show something to be false or wrong. Belied. His trembling hands belied his calm voice. To misrepresent, the newspaper belied the facts. The courts belie the truth. The government belies everything. Everything. Nothing the government says is truth, because it's run by psychopaths or ego grandes that want to control and rule everything, and they do not trust the natural flow of life. I'm learning, and I'm still learning it, I'm learning to trust the divine lover in a way that I've never trusted the divine lover before. A couple of weeks ago, actually it was only about a week and a half ago, I was in church, and the thought came to me as we were doing a meditation. Do you trust me yet? Are you ready to trust me yet? It was Spirit talking to me. Are you ready to trust me? Because like everybody else in this world, I've been told that the only way that I'm going to find peace and happiness is to control everything. Well, is that the truth? Can we really control anything? I mean, can we control when the sun comes up, or does it just come up all by itself every day? Can we control the weather? Well, some would say yes, there are technologies now in existence that can control to a certain extent the weather. But can you do it as an individual by taking thought? Can you, by taking thought, change something about yourself? If you're thin, can you make yourself heavy? If you're heavy, can you make yourself thin? If you're short, can you make yourself tall? What can you really do? What can you really control when it comes right down to it? So maybe trust is the right word. Trust instead of control. Trust that life has a plan that's better than our plan. Life has information that we haven't attained yet in our conscious mind. Maybe, just maybe, if we trusted our heart, we might make better choices because we might find the wisdom of the heart instead of running around helter-skelter trying to figure everything out and getting so many things wrong. But do we really get them wrong? Or is it all just a learning experience? I think I've believed lots of lies in my life. I probably still believe some lies that are not allowing me to be the best me I can be. I'm working. Actually, I'm not working. I'm allowing life to speak to me every day in miscommunications, misunderstandings that I have with people that make me go inside, because it brings up those misunderstandings and miscommunications bring up things for me where I tell myself a story and then I feel bad because of the story that I've told myself, and it may not even be true. And oftentimes I find it wasn't true when I uncover more facts. Lots of things. I posted a thing on my Facebook wall today about vaccines, about a neuroscientist, PhD in neuroscience, refusing to vaccinate her family, refusing the flu vaccine and other things. No thinking person that has done the research would ever vaccinate. In fact, no thinking person, if they ever did the research, would trust allopathic drugs blindly. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use allopathic medicines. Sometimes there are benefits to be gained. I have a friend, I haven't talked to him in a long time, for at least 4 years, maybe 5, who lives in South Florida. And he was one of the, he's probably 90-something now, actually, if he's still alive. He was there on the island where they tested he was one of the first people to go on the island where they tested the first atomic bomb. All of the other people died. He got cancer too. And what did he choose? He chose radiation therapy to fight the cancer. Why? That was the cause. But he mentally shifted it because he chose to believe something different, to tell himself another story. And we all have the ability to tell ourselves another story. We all have the ability to rewrite the stories we've already told ourselves. Have I always been alone? Am I unlovable? Am I not able to have a healthy relationships? What lies have I told myself that kept me in that thing? Well, what if I rewrote them and said these were all training grounds to make me one of the best lovers I could possibly be, to give me some of the best relationships I could possibly ever experience? What if, instead of looking at my life as being mostly over, I looked at the best part of my life as yet to come? What if I told a different story? What if I saw things from a different perspective? What if I chose to look at things from a more positive rather than a negative aspect? Now, I've been accused of being negative for a long time. I've hated that accusation because I didn't see myself as negative. And yet, how many of the things that I've told myself were, in actuality, negative? I was negating the natural flow of life. I was negating the love that was all around me. I was negating many things in my life, and that's what negative really means. It's to negate. It's to make ineffective. It's to invalidate something in our experience and make it meaningless. when we have an opportunity to assign a meaning to it that can actually build us up instead of tearing us down. Every single one of us, I'm convinced, makes choices in our lives how we're going to look at certain things. We think, well, that's the way it is. Look, Ron, that's the way it is. Is it? Is it really? Or is that merely life arranging itself for us to match the belief, the expectation? Now, expectation is a crazy word. So many times I've expected things to happen a certain way and they didn't. But what about the subconscious expectation? The expectation that we haven't put into words. The expectation that is part of our genetic makeup, if you will. The predisposition towards certain characteristics or even certain diseases. What if we could rewrite all of that by telling ourselves a different story and choosing a story that says God loves me no matter what I do? It has nothing to do with my choices, only my choice to allow or not allow. Now, allow. What's the spell there? All pain in allowing? Is that the lie that we tell ourselves, that our ego tells us? That if we allow, we're going to experience all pain, all ow? Probably not. I'm playing with words. And sometimes it's good to stand back and play with words and say, what if? What if everything is inside out and upside down? What if I've got it all wrong? What if most of what I've been taught simply isn't true, or it doesn't need to be true? It doesn't need to be my experience. What if I could actually love without limits? What if I could actually live without worry? What if I could change everything around and reprogram myself so that I could experience the things that I really want to experience instead of so often experiencing the very things I don't want to experience? These are challenges that I face. These are challenges that you probably face. We all face them to one degree or another, or to a large degree when it comes right down to it. Because look at the world that we live in. Look at the insanity. Look at the insanity of individual lives. Look at the craziness of things that we do, things that we see, things that we hear. Look at the craziness. The judge that I appeared before back in 2012, the first time I appeared to him, he tried to coerce me into making a plea. I didn't want to make a plea. And he was manipulating me, and he openly admitted, you're damn right I'm manipulating you. You're damn right I'm using coercion. Well, any contract created with coercion is an invalid contract. So he was invalidating all the proceedings from then on. He was invalidating. Well, that same judge, it just came out, actually hit a public defender. Asked the public defender to step into the back room, and while the microphones were on, you could hear them fighting with each other. Judge John C. Murphy. Yeah. Punched out a public defender in the back room of his courtroom. Here's the wonderful judge that likes to be in control of his own courtroom because he thinks he's the boss there. He's the king. Well, how many other things like this do we think that this is the lie that we're going to believe? I mean, the whole system, folks, is a lie. Our whole lives are probably much more lies than truth because we become the lie. We've become the sham. We've become the mask. We've become the persona. We've become the unnatural expression of a divine being. An expression that belies the truth that we are powerful creators when we think we're weak. That we have abundance when we think we're poor. That we are loved when we think we are unloved and alone. So many lies we've told ourselves, so much suffering has happened because of those lies. I, for one, think it's time we start telling the truth. I think it's time that we all choose to be authentic to the best of our ability. I think it's time that we let the skeletons out of our closet, the things that have captured us and held us as its slaves. Yes, those things. The things that we're ashamed of, the things that we're guilty about. I think it's time that we tell the truth. Whether we're high up in the social ladder or at the bottom of the social ladder, we're all equal in God's sight. We're all equal in creation, regardless of what it appears in the social strata of our culture. We have an opportunity. We're being given an opportunity. We've always had it, but now we're becoming aware of the opportunity that we have to step out of the lie and into truth for the first time. I thank you for listening. I trust you'll have a good day. And I don't think this came out all too bad, considering I didn't even think about it for at all before I formulated the blurb and the title. Yeah, interesting. Namaste.